Get ready for the smackdown. Get ready for the smackdown. How you gonna react when you're put in the back now? Cause there's no turning back when you're facing the smackdown.
Alright guys, so hope you guys liked the kickoff for section 14, the three-way edition section. We had a lot of talk about the overlords of evils between Shao Kahn, Skeletor, and Mum-Ra. Once again, big ups to Devil Knight B for making that fight. But here's one of mine, guys. So I picked the likes of Havok versus Mr. Gold versus Heatwave from Cyberforce. Yes, I thought about this. First of all, milestone for me because, first of all, 3 characters I have never had in any of my versus matches, my fantasy fights, ever. And so I'm here to, so this is kind of a milestone for me, very much. Alright, so let's talk about, let's give a little bit of a data on all 3 of these guys before you guys choose and I give my thoughts on who would win. Something I'm doing new for this section. So first of all, let's start with Havok. Alex Summers is the younger brother of Scott Summers, Cyclops. Also is the older brother to Gabriel Summers, Vulcan. He is the uncle of Rachel Gray, Nathan Summers, aka Cable, stepbrother, I mean not stepbrother, brother-in-law to Jean. You know, his father was a Corsair, you know, and he's also a founding member of X Factor. Well, not a founding member of the, yeah, actually he's a founding member of the government-sanctioned X Factor team. Because the original X Factor team was the original 5 X-Men when they left the X-Men for a while, when Magneto was running the team for a while. Can you believe that? Havok, of course, you know, is my favorite out of the Summers brothers. He has great leadership skills. He's a very, when he was younger, he was a little bit of a hothead, and it's kind of he's always in the limelight of trying to, sometimes people see him as, oh, he's the other Summers brother, you know, he doesn't live up to what Cyclops has done. And I hate that. I think that's wrong to kind of compare him in that direction. But Havok, being a mutant, as always, he pretty much is extremely powerful. He's an extremely powerful mutant. I'm not sure if he's at an Omega level, but he possesses the power to absorb cosmic energy in terms of, you know, his plasma blast. He can emulate his body in different waves of energy, like, you know, heat in the air and things like that. And he can discharge it, like I said, as plasma. At first, you know, it used to come out of his, you know, just out of his chest and things like that. In kind of like a circular form pattern. And later on, they started having him blasted through his hands and things like that. Havok definitely is, you know, it doesn't really show how much energy like he can absorb, but the more he absorbs, the stronger his blasts are, and he's really good at that. Now, in terms of like any other kind of other ability, he's well educated. I will say he has a bit of hand-to-hand combat training and martial arts training that he learned under Wolverine. Who better? He is a pretty good strategist and tactician as well, and but he's still a great character in my opinion. I love Havok. I really do, definitely. So let's move on to Booster Gold. Yeah, Booster Gold. Thank you, Dan Jurgens, for creating the character back in 1986. Man, I was only 4 years old when he created him. As we all know, Michael John Carter, that's Booster, that's his real name, was born in the year 2044 to 2000 2442, excuse me. In his period of time, he got a scholarship, I remember, to be play football, and he pretty much was a popular. He gained his nickname Booster from playing football. Uh, he he that's where he pretty much started to become really selfish and the guy that we know and love. He even started to even pulled a Pete Rose and started betting on his own games, which is really fun until he got caught really much, and he got banned from the sports altogether. So that kind of, and then he took a part-time job as a at the Metropolis Space Museum as like a I forget what he was. I think he was a guard or something like that. And then of course later on we know he stole future technology and a security robot known as Skeets, went back to the 20th century and became the heroic tried to become the heroic Booster Gold that we know now, or I should say he did. Now with as terms of Booster, in terms of what he can do, his abilities, as with his powers and stuff. His equipment gives him the ability, which is pretty much gives him in a sense to give. He has enhanced strength, which is able him to lift about maybe 200 tons. He can fly. He's highly durable. He can withstand bullets without losing, any kind of, like I'm hurt. He can create force fields, powerful impact force waves from his, the gauntlets on his hand. Skeet helps him out a lot. But it's that technology that that also gives him, like, as well as he can see in different kinds of rays, like electronic magnet spectrums. He can see X-ray, heat waves, things like that. And he's pretty arrogant, I'm not gonna lie. Booster he was pretty arrogant, but now he's not as arrogant as he was in the 52 universe. He really started to become a really good leader, and vouched that even for Batman, even said it. But Booster definitely is a very cool character. Nonetheless, like I said, thank you, Mr. Jurgens, for creating him. And he has a very cult following around him, definitely. So let's move on to the next character that I probably won't get a lot of people that know this character. And that's where I'm here to kind of educate you guys on. And that's Heatwave. Heatwave is from the comic Cyberforce. I'm a big Cyberforce fan. And Heatwave was actually he was the leader of Cyberforce for a while. He's an ex-Navy SEAL. He's actually Cyberforce are actually the equivalent of the X-Men. They're mutants too. They're mutants. And like most mutants, he is a mutant that pretty much can absorb solar radiation, and he also is enhanced because of his cybernetic abilities, hence the name Cyberforce. He can absorb solar radiation and turn that into a force beam, superheated atomic level particles, which is plasma. So pretty much he's like Havok in a sense. And this guy actually nearly beat Spartan, the Wildcat leader Spartan. He nearly beat him. And as a Navy SEAL, he's got great hand-to-hand combat skills, tactician, you name it. His suit is made up of some kind of substance that is also magnifies his powers a little bit more. But absorbing heat through his body and turn it into like a heated plasma is pretty much his mutation in a sense. But like I said, the guy is very, very good at what he does. And like I said, he fought Spartan to he nearly beat Spartan. So in terms of the battle, let's get on to the battle of this. This would be very interesting. This would be a very good battle in a sense. This is going to push both mutations between Havok and Heatwave to the limit. Booster definitely could, sit this one out for a while until, like, try to one-up them, basically. He'll probably get a lot of info from Skeets as well, about what these guys can do, what's their limit, things like that. It's going to definitely push each one to the limit. A lot of tactician, whoever is really good at tactical skills is going to play a factor into this. Overall durability, like I said, durability plays a lot in the fights. Who could take a punch, who can't take a punch, who's got a glass jaw, things like that. Hand-to-hand combat, if need be, if they can't rely on their powers or so. There's a lot of that going around, and I see a lot of factors. But as for who would I see winning this battle? I can't always go with technology. Can't always go with technology. So I'm gonna have this go down to maybe Havok. Slightly Havok, guys. That's me. That's just me. I say Havok, and I'm not speaking as a fanboy, but I'm just saying Havok. But I leave it up to you guys to decide. Havok, Booster Gold, or Heatwave. And I hope you guys enjoyed this fight. I had a lot of fun doing this for being a milestone, for the first time having all three of these characters in one of my fantasy fights. I will see you guys Friday with the next fight. Next two fights, which one comes from my friend Juan, with the battle between Talia al Ghul versus Karai versus Elektra, and another one of my fights between Nightwing versus Relento from Street Fighter versus Dwayne Taylor, Night Thrasher. And I'll see you guys next time. And you guys know the slogan: battle on, people. Battle on.